Hello, hello. One example that for me represent all the bad things about bureaucracy is called informed consent. So I don't know if you've ever had a surgery, but here is basically the situation. You're hospitalized, you're taken to the surgery waiting room and you wait, and then you get this clipboard with a document with, let's say, 30 pages, and you're asked to sign. And that's called informed consent. Now, by the way, it's a beautiful name, informed consent. But it's 30 pages, it's written in a small font, and you are stressed about the surgery, you don't have time, and of course, everybody signs it. Now, have we actually informed anybody? No. What is the function of that form? That function of the form is to take away control from the patient for suing the hospital or for suing the doctors. The name informed consent is actually very offensive in my name. It's basically release from liability. Let's call it what it really is. It's I'm not going to sue you for any mistake that happens. It's pretending to be about informing people, but there's nothing about it that informs. It's not written for the average person. It's not given to people at the right time. It's not giving people at the time that they could actually understand. There's nothing about it that is informed. And there's nothing about it that is even consent. It's a release from liability. This is what it is. And it's something that is written by lawyers, for lawyers, against the probability of being sued. And I think it's not just something bad pretending to be good. Like, when people sign this informed consent and you ask them, what did you actually sign? Like, they have no idea, right? So it's not just pretending, camouflaging itself, calling it informed consent when in fact it's just released from liability. It's also not given at the right time. And I can tell you this as a patient, you're going into hospital, and then you're stressed and you're worried and so on, and then you get this 30 pages, 10 pages, whatever it is. How does it make you feel? How much trust is it giving you in the system? How much do you think that the hospital understand you, that the doctors care about you, and so on? It's actually it's not just a release from liability. It's not just pretending to be about informing and not. It's also hurting trust. I will tell you that every time I have to sign one of those when I'm in bed waiting for surgery, stressed, not sure what would happen, it's clear to me that the hospital is not on my side. For me, this is here it is, we don't care about you. You are really not our concern. We just want to make sure that we are not, that later you will not sue us. It's a trust destroying, step, I think, in a very bad way, and also at a time where people are very vulnerable. So, we can go for a long time about informed consent, who is writing it. It's for lawyers, by lawyers, and so on. But for me, it's also a metaphor for this idea that bureaucracy, many times, it's not about what it's pretending to be. It's not really about HR. It's not really about vacation. It's about control. It's about liability. It's about not being sued. It's about something else. It's about this pretendness of, here is what we pretend to be, but here is what we're really about. So that's one. And the second thing is, and we're also going to destroy trust in the process. Is this policy really about what it says it is? Most likely not. Most likely it's to cover something in a liability document. Is it explained well? No. And what is it actually doing at the end? Most likely a lot of it is about reducing trust. So think about the other alternative. What in informed consent was limited to 5 sentences. Here are the things you really need to know. Would there be more lawsuits? Maybe. Would people be more informed? Absolutely. And would it actually live up to being an informed consent? Absolutely. And what if we gave it to people not when they are just before surgery, when they can't really cancel anyway, but what if we gave it to them 1 month in advance? Would that be better? Absolutely again. So I think that we want to do things complete for lawyers, in lawyers' language. But that doesn't really fulfill the real goal. And if we kept in mind the real goal, what it's pretending to be, informed consent in this case, we would do things very differently and much, much better.